need that for rehearsal. Oh, you're here with that. Yeah. I forgot.
What a beautiful way to start our Yom Kippur. So we have these Yom Kippur booklets. If you don't have them, I'm sure we can get some more in here. It seems like most of us do. Phenomenal. And we start on the very first page as we start this kind of serious holiday about atoning, about trying to be better, about starting this new year off right. Today is Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. 10 days ago on Rosh Hashanah, we welcomed the new year and promised to do better this year. We promised to do tefillah, teshuvah, and tzedakah. We promised to pray, to make up for our mistakes, and to share. In the 10 days since Rosh Hashanah, we have tried to make up with people we hurt during the year. We made promises to others and to ourselves about the way in which we can learn from and avoid these mistakes in the coming year. Today, we do something different. We apologize to God. How can we apologize to God? We apologize the same way we do with our friends and family, with tefillah, teshuvah, and tzedakah. And who remembers what tefillah is? Does anyone remember what tefillah is? So tefillah could be when we say our sorry. That's one form of tefillah, but tefillah is a little bit bigger than that still. Tefillah means prayer. All of our prayer is tefillah. And what about teshuvah? Who remembers what teshuvah is? Anyone remember? It's a really big, important word today, teshuvah. Teshuvah actually means to return. And it's a way of asking for forgiveness. That's what teshuvah is. It's repentance, which is another really big word. But it's a way of saying, you know what? We're good people, and we do our best, but sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget how we're supposed to act. Sometimes we forget what is really important to us, and sometimes we make mistakes. And so teshuvah is about remembering again to make sure that we do a little better this time. And of course, the last word here, tzedakah. Who remembers what tzedakah is? Yes. I love that we are so enthusiastic about tzedakah. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Tzedakah is exactly that. Tzedakah is about giving money, giving of ourselves to people and to causes that need our help. So we try to do all of these things, and we're particularly mindful of them on Yom Kippur. But there's another prayer that we heard last night for everyone who is here, which is the Kol Nidre prayer. And it's one of the ways that we start off Yom Kippur. And so even though it's not last night, we're going to get a small taste of that Kol Nidre prayer now. And I want to invite everyone to stand up for this prayer because that's typically what we do.
Kol Nidre ve'esarei v'charmei v'konamei v'chinuyei v'kinusei u'shavut din darna u'deish tavana u'deacharimena v'diasarna al daf shatana miyom kippurin zeh ad yom kippurim haba aleinu letova.
With these words, what we're saying is that we know sometimes we make mistakes, and we're going to make mistakes again, but we're going to do our very best in this next year to learn from our mistakes and be our best versions of ourselves. As we turn the page, we come to our call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yalla la la la, 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 yalla la la la.
The Yotzer Or is a prayer about creation. The sun rose today, it will set this evening. Tomorrow the sun will rise again. The world goes on day than night, day than night. Winter changes to spring and spring becomes summer. Summer turns to fall, then winter happens again. A year happens every single year. Every day I get up and start again. Life comes in circles. I can learn from yesterday and change in time for tomorrow. The world goes on day than night, day than night. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer Hamaorot. The Ahava Rabbah speaks of the great love that God has for the Jewish people. and asks us to show love to God and to one another. One of the ways God does this is by giving us the Torah. This kind of love is often difficult to explain. A little girl once asked her mother, and I'm going to invite all the children to read this line on the bottom of the page.
How should a person look for God?
All the adults.
You should find God everywhere.
The girl was not sure she understood, so she asked another question.
How should a person love God?
You should love God by loving everything which God made. God made people, animals, flowers, rain, and thunder, everything.
The girl still did not understand. Still, she asked another question.
How does a person learn to love?
You should keep your eyes and your heart open.
The girl smiled at her mother. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael, Yahava. You know, there's something, sorry, we're getting ready for Shema, but there's something that I want you to know about the Shema, because Shema is particularly important today on Yom Kippur. Does anyone have any idea why? So if you're here for the last service, there's something special that happens with Shema. When we say the words of Shema, do we say the words really, really loudly? Well, it's a kind of a trick question. Because the first, it's a very rabbinic thing to do, right? Ask a question with more questions. But the Shema, the first line that we do say it loudly. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. But the second line, the line that comes after it, traditionally we say it quieter. And we say it quieter in part because it's not in the Torah. There's all sorts of midrashim. Story for another time. But on Yom Kippur, that second line is said loudly at the end of the service. And that line, what it means, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed, it means, blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. On this day of Yom Kippur, when we take a day outside of our regular lives in order to just be, and in order to really, really connect to God and have this experience, on that day, we can say these words. And we say them at the end of Yom Kippur. So today we're going to do the Shema the way we would normally do them, because it's not the last service yet, though you are, of course, invited to come back for that one. But I just want you to know that this prayer is specifically important on Yom Kippur.
And you're going to repeat back to me what I chant to you. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
You may be seated.
So I'm going to share with you a special melody for these next words. It's not Josh Roshovsky's melody, but it's a beautiful one at that. And the words are Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Rabbi, what does that mean?
It means love your neighbor or your fellow human being as yourself.
Ooh, I love it. And you know, this great rabbi once said, Zeklal gadol ba'torah. Everyone say Zeklal gadol ba'torah. which means that's the most important thing, the most important message of the entire Torah, which is amazing. It's amazing that you can put that whole Torah into just those few words. And it goes like this. Ve'ahavta lereyacha kamocha. Try that now. Ve'ahavta lereyacha kamocha. Now listen. Ze klal gadol Batorah, you turn. Ze klal gadol Batorah. Love your neighbor as yourself. You try. Love your neighbor as yourself. This is the message of our Torah. This is the keeping and teaching of our Torah. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Sing it again, even stronger. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Ze klal gadol b'Torah. Ze klal gadol b'Torah. Ze klal gadol b'Torah. One more time. Ve'ahavta l'reacha. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Sing it like you really mean it. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Now turn to your neighbor and sing it to them. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. One more time to your neighbor. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. That's beautiful.
And those words are again going to be repeated this afternoon when we read them from the Torah. But we turn now to the next page, which is a prayer called the Michamocha. Once we were slaves in Egypt, and God took us out and set us free. On the way out of Egypt, the children of Israel sang a song, the Michamocha, by remembering that we were slaves and knowing that now we are free. We are better able to understand how easy it is to become a slave, and how we may become free through doing mitzvot, God's commandments, to be good people and to learn from the beauty of Jewish tradition. If we can remember the bitterness of slavery, we can begin to help everyone, including ourselves, to become free. We turn to the tefillah, the prayer, and we're going to all rise once more as we offer the words in the bottom of the page.
Adonai sevatai tiftach uvi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sevatai tiftach uvi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, U'mei Gdula livnei bneihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava. Zochreinu lechaim, Melech chafetz b'chaim, v'chodreinu b'sefer ha'chaim, למענך אלוהים חיים, מלך עוזר מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
That last piece we did is a special piece just for the Yamim Noraim, for the High Holy Days, where we ask God to remember us and give us life. O God of life, who takes great joy in life's beauty, may our names be written in the book of life for a promising new year.
Amen. So, it's time to invite our friend back, because it's time for the Kedusha. And who's our friend that always takes us into the Kedusha? The count. Because he loves to count all the holiness in the entire service. So when we get to the words Kadosh, 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 we are going to stand on our tippy toes. We are going to count the Kadosh, and we are going to say it, because we want to be like God. Holy. That's not holy like in the shoes or in the pants sometimes where there's holes. Different kind of holy. This is the holy that the count loves. The holiness of being like God. So, Rabbi, we are ready.
Okay. God, everywhere we turn, we feel you within us.
Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Adonai Tsebaot. Oh, no, just Kadosh. Sorry, not until the bottom. I forgot.
We feel you with us when we see a newborn baby.
Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh.
We feel you with us when we touch a soft flower.
Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh.
We feel you with us when we see a rainbow after a storm.
Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh.
We feel you with us when we are loving and loved.
Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh.
We feel you with us when we do a mitzvah.
Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh.
We praise you, eternal God, everywhere we turn, you are there. Baruch atah Adonai.
Ha'el HaKadosh. Now let's count together. 1 Kadosh, 2 Kadosh, 3 Kadosh, Adonai Tsevaot, Melo Chol Haaretz Kevodo. Brings me such joy.
Yes, such joy from our count over here. But there's another part of Yom Kippur that is also really important, which is something called the vidui, the confession, where we talk about some of the things that we've done in the past year that maybe we're not quite so proud of. And so there is a tradition of saying the Yashamnu prayer. Now, the Yashamnu prayer includes some of the sins written out as an acrostic with all of the Hebrew letters. And so we have a child-friendly English version of this on the next page called I Did It, I'm Sorry. I ate all the cake Mama saved for our guests. I broke her blue vase and I left a big mess. I cried, kicked, and screamed till I got my own way. I didn't clean up my old clothes for 12 days. I erased the great novel that Daddy was writing. I frightened the cat with my scratching and biting. I gossiped and told tales I knew weren't true. I happened to fill Susie's slippers with glue. I did it, I'm sorry. Next year I'll be good. I'll try to be better and do what I should. There's no one to blame. The fault was all mine. Forgive me. I won't do the same things next time. I ignored the advice of my parents and teachers. I jumped on the bed like some wild, crazy creature. I knew it was wrong, but it seemed like such fun. I lied just a bit when they asked what I'd done. I misbehaved terribly during the year. I nagged at my parents and drove them to tears. I organized protests to close down the school. I pushed when they told me quite clearly to pull. I did it, I'm sorry. Next year I'll be good. I'll try to be better and do what I should. There's no one to blame. The fault was all mine. Forgive me. I won't do the same things next time. I quacked like a duck when the teacher was talking. I ranted and raved with cacophonous squawking. I said I would do things but never did do them. I told tales of lost homework and doggies that chew them. I used Tammy's toys that she said not to touch. I vanished before I could help very much. I walked uninvited through Miss Kemp's courtyard. I X'd out the F's from my last year's report card. I yelled till I made all the neighbors' ears sore. I zoomed on my bike across the fresh painted floor. I did it, I'm sorry. Next year I'll be good. I'll try to be better and do what I should. There's no one to blame. The fault was all mine. Forgive me. I won't do the same things next time.
Selach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu ve'al kulam Eloah selichot selach lanu mechal lanu selach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu.
For all these things, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, grant us atonement. Let's continue together. We are sorry for hurting people and not caring enough to apologize. We are sorry for forgetting to say the nice things and remembering to say what hurts. We are sorry for being angry and hanging on to bitterness. We are sorry for ignoring a friend who needs our love. We are sorry for ignoring classmates and colleagues who deserve our respect. We are sorry for teasing our brothers or sisters who deserve our understanding. We are sorry for criticizing our parents who deserve our appreciation. We are sorry for being mean to ourselves when we also deserve our own love.
Ve'al kulam Eloah selichot selach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu ve'al kulam Eloah selichot selach lanu mechal lanu selach lanu mechal lanu kaper
On Yom Kippur, we do apologize for the things that we've done wrong, but we also remember the things we have done right in hopes that we can do even more this year. For the good we have done when we softened our hearts.
For the good we have done even when we were unaware.
For the good we have done with kind and comforting words.
For the good we have done openly or in secret.
For the good we have done by using gentle words.
For the good we have done by helping other people.
For the good we do by sticking to our principles.
For the good we do when we run to fulfill mitzvot.
For the good we do with random acts of kindness.
For the good we do by stating the truth.
For the good we do by loving others for no reason.
For the good we do by being trustworthy.
For the good we do with the clear intention of doing so, fully aware of the importance of our actions.
Ve'al kulam Eloas Ezraot Azor lanu semach lanu chazek lanu Ve'al kulam Eloas Ezraot Azor lanu semach lanu Azor lanu semach lanu chazek lanu.
For all these things, God of help, aid us, support us, and strengthen us. You may sit down for the time being. When you love Adonai Elohech, body and soul, these things I ask of you will be possible. To answer your children's questions about me and believe your answers yourselves. To connect religion to your everyday comings and goings. For example, when you hug them in bed at night with tender words, Shema Yisrael, or when you think to say Moda Ani in the rush of getting them out in the morning. To be alert enough to open doors for children in every waking moment and when they dream. And finally, to remember just why all these things matter. They matter because I, Adonai Elohecha, brought you and your children out of Egypt to be God for you. I am your God. When you do these things, I will be your children's God. We are going to continue at the very bottom, which is a blessing for parents and children to say to one another. And so if you see in the italics, we have words for parents to read, and the indented portions have words for children to read. Avinu Malkeinu, make me a better parent. Teach me to be patient and caring. Help me to see who my children really are and to celebrate them. Children, Avinu Malkeinu, make me a better child. Help me to understand my parents and to treat them with love and kindness. Help me never to laugh at their mistakes or say hurtful things when they displease me. Help me to understand that parents make mistakes too. May I never say or do things to hurt them. Reduce, I pray, the meanness in me, and when I am out of sorts, help me, God, to hold my tongue. May I ever be mindful that they are children and that I should not expect of them the wisdom of adults. May I try to speak clearly to my parents, even when I am angry, to help them understand how hard it sometimes is to be a child. And may I also understand how hard it must sometimes be to be a parent. Let me not rob them of the opportunity to grow and make decisions for themselves. Help me to listen to their advice and hear the love and caring that comes with it. Bless me with the generosity to grant them all their reasonable requests and the courage to deny them what will cause them harm. Help me to accept my parents' decisions, which may at times seem unfair, but come only from their love and concern for me. Help me to be just and fair and kind. Help me to be just and fair and kind. Then we will truly be blessed. The Avinu Malkeinu we are going to do in English as well as Hebrew. I invite everyone to rise once more as we offer this prayer.
I'm sorry for what I did wrong. I'm sorry for what I did wrong. I'll try to be caring, more loving, more sharing. Forgive me for what I did wrong. I'll try to be the best that I can be. I'll try with all my might to do what I know is right. Asay Manu, Asay Manu, Tzedakah v'chesed. Asay Manu, Tzedakah v'chesed ve'oshienu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu v'aneinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Choneinu v'aneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim.
You know, Cantor, I think it's story time.
Is it story time?
I think it
I
might
love
be.
story time.
And I think we might need some props for said story.
I think
Everyone
we
can be seated.
Just might. Let's see. Oh. It's a little wonky, so.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
Ah.
That's super cute. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for.
All
Hi,
right.
Mom. Oh. Wait, there's more. I don't know. Where do you want to be?
So this happens to be a fence from the preschool that is now in our building that we are so happy to have here. We're not going to damage it, I assure you. It is our prop, though. So once upon a time, there was a little boy who had a very bad temper. Any of us relate to that? Every time something didn't go the way he wanted to, he would kick and scream and yell. His behavior concerned his mother very much. She tried many different ways to make him feel better, but nothing worked. And then she had an idea. She went into the toolbox and retrieved a box of nails and a hammer.
Son, from now on, every time you lose your temper, I want you should go outside and I want you to hammer a nail into the fence.
That's ridiculous. Ah, I hate this. They're always making me do stuff.
The boy looked at her, shrugged his shoulders, and actually, even though it doesn't seem like it, he thought it was pretty cool.
Couldn't let her know.
On the first day, the boy lost his temper many times. He got angry with his best friend, so he hammered a nail in the fence. He yelled at his father, so he hammered a nail into the fence. He said mean things to his brother, so he hammered another nail into the fence. He did this at least He did this at least a dozen times over the course of the day.
A lot of nails I don't have. It's so upsetting.
Each time he did so, he calmed down. But he also got tired, and his arm hurt a bit too.
So heavy, this hammer.
Over the course of a few weeks, the number of nails the boy hammered at the fence became fewer and fewer.
Son,
What?
how are you feeling today?
Oh, good, Mom. I'm not so angry anymore. I'm learning how to use my words for good. I'm not putting as many nails into the fence, thank goodness, because the preschool would be so upset. I've learned that it takes a lot more energy to hammer a nail into a fence than it does to hold my temper.
Finally, the day came when the boy didn't lose his temper at all.
Son!
Yes, Mom?
I am so proud of you. You didn't lose your temper a single time today. I have an idea. Every day you manage to hold your temper.
Go to Disneyland?
No, but you get to take a nail out of the fence.
Sounds like a good idea, Mom, but I think mine was better.
Day by day passed, and each day the boy managed to hold his temper. At the end of each day, he went to the fence and he removed one more nail.
Come on, son. Come on. Let's take a look at the fence. What do you see?
Bunch of really cute kids. And no script. Hold on. I see lots of holes where the nails were once pounded in.
Said the mother to her son. Nope.
The fence will never be the same.
Oh, no.
When you say things in anger, they leave a scar, just like this one. You can put a knife in a person, but I never want you to try that. And then you can draw it out, and it won't matter how many times you say I'm sorry, there is still going to be a wound there.
A wound?
A wound.
A wound, okay. That sounds wonderful.
A verbal wound can be as bad as a physical one.
Oh, I never thought about that.
That's right.
Friends can be very rare jewels indeed. And when we put our nails into the fence, we sometimes create these wounds that can truly damage those relationships, that can hurt us, and that can hurt one another. And so on Yom Kippur, let us strive not just to stop ourselves from needing to put those holes and nails into the fence, but to learn to hold our temper so that they don't need to be there to begin with.
Amen. No wounds. I
No
love no
wounds.
wounds. No wounds is a very good thing.
Sounds good. And just as hard as it is to get those nails in the fence, there we go. We're so high-tech here at Temple Bethel. Awesome. So we are going to end this family Yom Kippur service by inviting all of our youth choir to come up one last time and to sing our song again, because it is such a beautiful and powerful song about forgiveness.
And you'll notice so many more of them this time. Saw them coming in during the service. It's okay. Come on up. Hold on. All right, guys, get into your rows. Very good. Oops. These are the days we say we're sorry. So this song is a wonderful song that our school has learned, and our youth choir has learned to sing. Wow, there's so many of you now. And it really speaks to this time for all of our children. And the reason why I teach this to all of our children in our Torah school is so that they can all remember exactly what these days are about. 1, 2, 3, 4, sing. These are the days we say we're sorry. Gamar Chatima Tova, everyone.
Gamar Chatima Tova. We hope to see you later.
So just to let everybody know, we do have lots of options for you going forward right now. I will say that if you are sitting in a seat that has a reserve sticker on it, we do need to vacate those seats for the morning service. But that being said, you're here before anybody else, so you can fill in all the other seats if you're planning to stay. Also, we have school-age children's programming from 1st grade through 4th grade, or 5th grade? 5th grade. 1st grade through 5th grade, that's going to be held upstairs in the end classroom, right? We also have a teen service that will start at 10:30 that's being led by our Speedy board and our Speedy advisor, Jaron Brunner. And that's going to be in the Beit Midrash, upstairs in the other corner of the building. And we also have babysitting available. So if you have a child that's here who is anywhere from, the womb until kindergarten, we have babysitting that will be available in the preschool classroom as well. Okay, so lots of great opportunities. We hope that you grown-ups will stay with us and remain with us to pray this morning for Yom Kippur. And if you can't stay this morning, we hope you'll come back this afternoon for our afternoon service, which starts at 3 o'clock, and our Yisker service, which is at 5 o'clock, our service of remembrance and memorial. And, of course, the surprise closing Ne'ilah service. We keep dangling that carrot for all of you. That we've got some great plans for that service tonight, which is our closing service that takes us out of Yom Kippur and leads us into our next holiday already, which is Sukkot. And there's some great opportunities for Sukkot too. You'll notice on the tables there are lots of flyers and things like that. Please grab them. Please join us and be present in this coming year for as many programs as you can possibly be here at Temple Bethel for. And if you'd like more information about anything here at Temple Bethel, if you're visiting, if you're new, and you haven't been with us before, there's also a little box on the narrow kind of sofa table out in the hallway that has just information cards. If you give us your information, we'll be happy to reach out to you, not in a pestful way, but in a loving way. We'll be happy to reach out to you and to answer any questions that you might have about Temple Bethel, about our school, which goes from pre-K all the way up through high school, as a supplemental education program on Sunday mornings and Thursday afternoons once they get to a certain age. So we're happy to let you know about all the great things. Am I forgetting something, Rabbi?
There's only one thing, is that there's no flyer for on Sunday night when we will already be welcoming in Sukkot. Anyone who would like to come and join me in the sukkah to study a little bit of Ecclesiastes and to have a little snack. I know I'm talking about food on Yom Kippur, big no-no. But if anyone would like to join me, it's at 7 p.m. to welcome in the wonderful holiday of Sukkot. So I hope everyone has a really meaningful day, and Gamar Chatima Tova.
Gemara Chatima Tova.
Do we need this for something?